This is Rakesh from Let's Make Learning Simple channel. Now we are going to see what is Java. Java. Many of you would have doubt what is Java. If you are non-programming background, then many of you would have some doubt what is Java. Java is just a programming language and is also a platform. Programming language is a communication or medium to communicate with the machines or computers or system, anything. So this is one of those programming language. It also said as a platform. The reason why we say Java is a platform means a platform, the formal definition of a platform is any hardware or software environment in which a program runs. Java has its own environment called JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Using that environment only, that Java programs or Java bytecode runs. That's why Java is also a platform. And then many people call it as high-level programming language, robust, secure, object-oriented programming language, and we can say any number of things for Java. So this is just introduction about Java. We'll talk more about those things in the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching this video. At the end of this video, you'll see the channel icon here. Please click on that for subscribing channel. Suppose if you like this video, means please smash the like button, comment it. Now we are going to see about the brief history of Java. So first we need to thank these members, these green team members, for making this project a successful one. Nowadays we are happy because of them, because nowadays everything is running based on software. Most of the software was written using Java. That's why we need to be very thankful to these members, Java team members called green team. The green team is the first team that initiated Java. At that time, they aim to develop a programming language to support digital devices, to support a few features in the digital device, like set-top boxes, television, and etc. But at that time, that internet was also booming. So they thought that why should we restrict only to digital devices? Why can't we focus on internet programming also? That's the reason why Java focuses on various topics and various things rather than restricting to some narrow thing called digital devices. And then most of you know that Java was founded by James Gosling, but most of you, what you don't know is Mike and Patrick also contributed many things and many main things to make this project a successful one. They initiated this project in 1991. At that time, they called it as a Green Talk project, Green Talk programming language. As days goes, the name was changed to Oak language. The reason why they preferred Oak is it's a symbol of strength. Many countries treat oak tree as a national thing. That's the reason why they treated oak as why they named a program language as well. They thought that this program language would be the strength and would be this pillar for other programming languages. That's why they have named it as Oak. But due to some reasons, the name was changed from Oak to Java. We will talk about those reasons in the upcoming video. So thanks for watching this video. Now we are going to see why those team members have chosen Java name for that programming language. So till 1995, they called that programming language called Oak for many reasons. At that time, they discovered that the programming language called Oak already exists. So they decided to change the name. Otherwise, they would face the legal issues. So the team members got vexed. So they thought of various names like Dynamic, Revolutionary, Silk, DNA, etc., etc., etc. But James Gosling doesn't show interest to those names. The James Gosling had an idea that the name should be unique, dynamic, and it should be easily spelled by the people, and it should easily reach to the people. So they thought of various names, but none of them clicked. So they thought to go to cafeteria to have a coffee. They have been to cafeteria and they had a coffee. At that time, they had an idea. Why can't we just call this programming language as Java? So the reason behind the Java is an island that is present in Indonesia where the first coffee was produced. So that coffee was called as Java coffee. Then they thought that why can't we name our programming language called Java? So that this is the first programming language that supports for many things and many various things. So they named that programming language as Java. So this James Gosling and his team members started are the founders of the Java, were working at Sun Microsystem. So now this is a subsidiary of the Oracle. The first version of Java was released in January 23, 1996. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to see where Java is used mainly. The first stat that I need to convey is Java is nearly more than 3 billion devices are running on Java. That's very great to hear, because Java was founded in Java first released in 1996, but now more than 3 billion devices are running on Java. Desktop applications, if you are using Linux, Windows, or Mac OS, most of the applications are written using Java language. And then web applications like if you are using online websites, online shopping websites like Amazon, Paytm, like that, most of the websites are using Java. And then mobile, if you were using Android mobile, then 90 to 95% softwares are developed using Java. Embedded systems. Initially, Java was written to support embedded systems, and nowadays we also the same pattern is followed. And then robotics. There are various advanced languages developed to support robotics, mainly for robotics, but Java is always stands out of them. Java supports few things. None of the programming languages support those kind of things. And then games, if you're playing high graphic games, then Java plays a major part in that also. And rocket, if suppose nowadays everything is monitorized using computers and software. So most of the rocket software are developed using Java, and there are many more applications. We will talk more about these throughout this course. Thanks for watching this video. Now we are going to discuss about the features of Java. The first feature is simple. So suppose if you know the C and C++ programming language, then you would have noticed that there are some complex concepts that are present in those languages, like pointers, operator overloading, and etc. But those things are not supported in Java. That's why the language is very simple. Anyone can learn it in within a few weeks. That's the simplicity of this language. Next one is object oriented. The programming language, there are some conditions that needs to be satisfied to treat it as an object oriented programming language, like inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and etc. We will talk more about these things in the upcoming videos in detail. For now, just consider it as in brief manner. And then portable. I think I have already discussed how .java file is converted to .class file. So the .class file is a Java bytecode. Java bytecode can be easily transferred from one machine to another machine, and one machine to another platform, like another physical devices. So that's why it's very portable. And then platform independent. The platform independent, we have already discussed the reason for platform independent. The compiler converts the Java source code to .class bytecode. That bytecode is platform independent. Any platform can run that Java bytecode. So each platform has its own specific JVM, Java Virtual Machine. We have already discussed more the detailed information in the previous video. Suppose if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch that video. And secure dynamic interpreter. We will talk more about this in the upcoming videos. So next one is architectural neutral. If you know Java, C and C++, then you would have noticed that for 32-bit architecture, some primitive data types behaves in some way, and for 64-bit architecture, the primitive data types behaves in some way. Whereas in Java, that behavior is same across the architectures. And then high performance. The once the Java compiler gives the Java bytecode, that Java bytecode is very closer to native code. But C and C++ always dominates in terms of performance. Multi-threaded. If you need to work multiple things at the same time. For example, if you are using the Facebook, if you are trying to upload the status, and if you are trying to check the chat box, and if you are trying to watch the videos, you are doing multiple tasks on a single application at the same time. That is also supported in Java. That is called multi-threading. And distributed. The distributed means the work is distributed across many systems. So using RMA and EJB in Java, we'll talk about more about this in the upcoming. We are going to discuss why Java is platform independent. Suppose if you are a newbie to Java programming language, many of your colleagues or many of your friends would have told that Java is a platform independent language. That's why we need to study Java, so that it could be very useful in the software industry. That reason is very true. But you would have a doubt that why Java is a platform independent, why other languages are not platform independent. I am going to clear the doubt in this video. So Java, if you're a newbie or if you are an expert in programming, your stage stops here. You are going to you just write a Java file. So for a simple program or a complex program or a software, anything, your stage stops here. The compiler converts your code to some format so that it could be run on any machine. So the compiler converted Java file to .class file. This .class file is called Java bytecode. The Java bytecode is the main reason why Java is a platform independent. See, this Java bytecode runs on Windows, Linux, Mac, Java Mobile, and Android Mobile. Each platform has its own Java virtual machine. For example, the Windows has some specific implementation design so that the output remains the same. Similarly, Linux has its own specific JVM, and Mac has own specific JVM. Java Mobile and Android Mobile has own specific JVM. That's the reason why Java is platform independent. All these JVM reads that .class file or Java bytecode to give the same output. So that's the reason why Java is platform independent. Thanks for watching this. Now we are going to see about the JDK, JVM and JRE. If you are a newbie to the programming language, newbie to Java, then you must know these things. These are the important things that need to be learned very fastly, and it's the important thing for interview purpose and also for enhancing your knowledge. First, we'll talk about JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So as the name is suggests, it's a virtual machine. You can't touch it. You can just sense it. It's a virtual machine. If suppose a computer, grinder, mixer or physical machine, you can touch it and you can sense it. Whereas virtual machines are the machines that you can sense it but you can't touch it. So Java Virtual Machine is one of those virtual machines. Here, what it does is it tries to run the Java bytecode. In the previous video, we have talked about the Java bytecode. Java bytecode is the important thing that makes it Java as a platform independent language. JVM runs that, JVM executes that, and JVM does everything on Java bytecode. And then, for example, many of the people would have said that Java is a platform independent. But you should know that why Java is a platform independent. Because JVM is specifically designed for every platform. For example, for Linux, there's a separate JVM. For Windows, there's a separate JVM. For Mac OS, there's a separate JVM. For everything, there is a specific thing, the specific JVM that was developed by Java team member. That's the reason. That's why Java is a platform independent. And then we have already talked about this point, and technically these are the three things that are present inside the JVM: class loader, runtime data, and execution engine. We will talk about more about these things in the upcoming videos. For now, just consider these three things. And then JRE. JRE means Java runtime environment. Java runtime environment provides the libraries, JVM, and other components. So the two important and key things that are part of JRE, they are Java plugin. If you have written any applet program, so applet is nowadays applet is outdated. But suppose you have written, we'll talk about what is an applet in upcoming video. For now, just consider you have written an applet program. If you want to run that applet program in web browser, then you need this Java plugin. And Java web service. Suppose if you have written a standard application, then it's not a problem. You can run in your machine or in your friend's machine or anywhere. But if you want to run that code or run that program in the web network, then you need this Java web store. And then important thing is JRE doesn't contain tools such as compilers and debuggers. This is the important thing. JRE doesn't contain compilers and debuggers. JDK only contains that compilers and debuggers. JDK superset of JRE. So the things that are present in JRE would also present on the JDK, and it contains two unique things: compilers and debuggers. We know that we know the usage of compilers. Compiler is a thing that converts a .java file to .class file. Debuggers are the thing that without debuggers, programmers are nothing. Programmers are scrap. Since I am the Java software developer, I know the usage of debuggers. I know how much time I would have saved using debugger, because it's natural the programmers would put some bug in the code. So there should be some tool to debug the things. That's the thing called debugger. A debugger is a helper tool for the programmer, which is used to solve or debug the bugs. Without debugger, programmers are dummy or scrap. You can also say that debuggers are god to the programmers.